so excited to be back with my wonderful co-host. And of course, we've got the lovely Elijah back. Yay!
Hello, hello.
Hello, audience applause. Yeah, love it.
Yes. How are you, Elijah?
I'm doing good. Good to see you both. It is
You
a blast
too.
from the past and a wonderful reunion before the end of the new year. So great to see the two of you.
You
I
too.
mean, literally, I couldn't believe the minute me and Yubi posted literally the interview, it went mad. Like, I had so many comments, everyone was
Mm.
liking it. It was the views literally went so way up as well. And I was like going, this is crazy. Like but it was amazing. It made me feel so happy. So I'm so glad it went really well. So yeah. So it's
Oh
good.
man, same. Happy to be back.
Yeah, and it's funny, right? Because we did that first interview with you. There was such great momentum with the show, and then all of a sudden, we
Yep.
were just talking about this. Like, what was that feeling for you? When there was this coinciding of things, right? The ending of
Hmm.
Titans, waiting on news of when Doom Patrol was coming back, and then the
Right.
strike hit. What was going through your head?
Ah man, I felt like Crazy Jane. I mean, to
Yeah,
be as
right.
honest as possible, I had to keep it short, just so many different words, so many different things, so many different feelings. On one end, you're thinking about, the strike, you're thinking about better contracts, you're thinking about, the existential crisis of like the integrity of your art and artistry as an artist. And the foundation of all of that is, was Doom Patrol coming back out? Like, and kind of not trying to feel selfish to say that, because honestly, anybody would be thinking that. It's like you put your work out, half of it's out. You want people to be able to get the last bit of the story. You want to see the last bit of the story. The time you put in with all these people for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. For some of them, I came in for about 2.5 months, and that's a labor of love. That's the last season to really put the book into a story that so many people have worked tirelessly to create and people to watch. So realistically, yeah, it was just a really crazy limbo to be in. And artistically, while the strike was happening, I was really kind of stuck in this place of like, what am I going to do? Or what do I want to do? Or, you kind of get the thoughts of, did I choose the right profession? Because again, this is another thing that's almost like COVID that's hitting me in a way that my money is out. My opportunity to produce work and to feel fulfilled and do all these things is gone again. And it's kind of like, is this the job I should do? Luckily, it is. I'm so happy for that. But then at the same time, to have Titans go finish, have their wonderful run, and then to have this lull, in many ways, I had to kind of put it to rest,
Mm.
kind of put Doom Patrol to rest in a way, like just to say, hey, I did the work.
Mhm.
If it's gonna come out, it's gonna come out. And if it doesn't, I have to be okay with it. And then to fast forward to, a couple months, a month or so ago, to having Doom Patrol come back out, it honestly was a little surreal because, I kind of let it go in many ways.
Yeah.
So then to watch it kind of does seem like, wow, this is, and plus it had been so long for us to get back into it. But there was a little getting used to things again, like, oh wow, let me
Yeah.
get used to seeing Doom Patrol every week again. And oh right, there's me. Oh right, the story again. Oh, this
Yeah.
actually exists. um but yeah, in a nutshell, it was not a fun not a fun place overall, but nonetheless, I was talking to Javan about it, and we realized it probably came out at one of the best times it could have, because if it came out during the strike, it would have got washed over. That
Right.
initial, just all of that, yeah, it would have came, went, nothing. But luckily we were able to have it in a nice little pocket, so
Yeah.
everyone could really, kind of sit down and watch and enjoy.
I mean, I have to admit, social media went absolutely crazy. The minute we all found out that the episodes were returning, the minute I
Hmm.
posted one little thing about it, then I had like 600 views. I think it probably went even more. It was just crazy. Like we had so many messages from the group. They were all like so excited. It was a wonderful experience, and actually, I'm very glad Like, I've had so many lovely comments from the groups, and they've all been saying like it ended up perfectly, like the way it should have done. So, which is really good.
Yeah, I totally agree on that point. I think, I keep describing the finale as like devastatingly beautiful. I mean, it just,
yeah.
it's one of those finales, like there's not many like that,
Mm-hmm.
in the pantheon of entertainment out there, right? Like, it was just really well done. And
Mm-hmm.
talk, like, how did you feel being a big part of the finale? Because like you said, like, it was so great uh when it came out, thank goodness, because it got the attention it needed, and instead of being, washed away by other things that were
Right.
happening. So how was it for you? I mean, like, what kind of messages were you getting from friends, family, fans, for being such a big part of it?
It kind of like a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I only say that because, granted, while it was coming out, we still kind of were in strike, so I couldn't post about it in the way that I want to. And I mean, I still want to make a final thing on my own, Instagram and all that kind of stuff, my socials, but I wasn't really able to post about it. So the folks that I know, that kind of would maybe want to watch it more if I, put it more in their mind to watch, weren't able to see it. But to be honest, kind of what I was touching on briefly, being here with my parents, I would have an acting class here and there, and then usually on Wednesdays, and then it would go till wee hours of the night, and I would just stay up till midnight, 1 o'clock with my parents. We get some popcorn and we'd watch the episodes. And to see the joy that's on my parents' faces, to hear their questions, to say, well, what's gonna happen? You guys just, there's the explosion, Mortis did this. Also, side note, to actually be able to talk about all of this stuff is such a breath of fresh air, because
Yeah.
the first interview
Right.
I had and interviews I had prior with the show, everyone was asking me like, oh, what's this? What's that? And like, I just couldn't talk. So realistically, I've been sitting on all of this stuff for like a year and a half. So I just
Oh,
want to get that
wow.
out the way. It feels great to talk about it.
Awesome.
I
Oh, we're
couldn't
so
say
happy.
anything. Yeah, I couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
not want to ruin. I didn't want anybody, the Doom group or the just Doomies in general, to be like, what is he doing? He's telling everything. So
Totally.
that aside, I feel great to be able to speak on this. But yeah, to actually just watch the joy on my parents. Like,
Yeah.
they were just lighting up just to see it every time. My dad's loving he loves the theme. So then when they did the musical
Mhm.
episode and they changed that, and then when it came to like a Mortis, where you heard different versions of the intro, to then the
Mhm.
very end when Mortis is singing hers, and it's like they have this dark warped version of the intro. So it's that was fun. And to summarize it all, actually, I while going around, I've gotten 2 in-person. Oh, you're Derek from Doom? No, 3. I've had 3 now. 3 actual
Oh, I
people
love it.
now see me
Really?
out and been like, wait a minute, you're on TV. I'm like, yeah, I do some stuff, man. I don't know, maybe you saw me or something. He's like, wait, you were Cyborg's best friend. And I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, my God, this is weird. You see me. It's kind of like, it's almost like being Waldo. Like, you're just walking around like, yeah, everything's nice. Everything's easy. And then they're like, gotcha. You're like, oh, shit. All right, well, my bad. Good job, man. Yeah, I'm a doomy, man. So
That's,
yeah,
I love it.
that has been a fun ride. I
Yeah.
won't lie, it's and I ended here. It hasn't been like really crazy in the outpouring. And that's not saying it's a bad thing. It's actually in a way of me saying it's been a nice gradual build,
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah.
something that is very manageable. I can really enjoy it. It's not just so much that it's like, oh well, I gotta check out because this is overloading. It's a lot. I can actually take these moments in and really hold them near and dear and precious. Even stuff like this. Like, these are the things that really matter to me. Opposed, like, all the other
Yeah.
stuff is great, but to have some folks that like, yo, can you come to our podcast? Can we have this conversation? Kathleen working so hard to make sure scheduling and being on time with all this stuff. I mean, the labor of love is it's the through lines are everywhere. So I mean, again, to have this opportunity and not be too busy that I can't do this at this right time, I mean, that's nothing but a blessing. So yeah.
Honestly, I couldn't
Yeah.
even believe when we very first created this idea, I just thought, oh no, it's not gonna go anywhere. Like, we're not gonna do well. We've had the Doom group now for over 2 years, and it's flown by. And now the community
Yeah.
has grown. We've got what, over 1,000 and
Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
insane.
mean, it's insane. It's gone.
Yeah.
So it's gone so quickly, but having these opportunities, you know, interviewing the cast, interviewing the people who've been on the show and everything, it is hard work, but it's also dedication. And without the community group, you know, me and Newbie wouldn't even be here. And so
Right.
I'm really
True.
grateful for them. So this is
Yeah.
this has been my dream, and I'm really glad it's actually come true. So, and I do absolutely
man.
love the group to pieces as well. So yeah. And speaking of which, it does actually bring in the questions from the community group. And they did actually ask, so actually this is my personal one, but it includes them as well. So obviously the show has now come to an end. What's been your favorite episode out of the whole entire season 4? So now that we can discuss it, what has been your absolute
I believe the musical and I'll be a little selfish and say episode 8. That's where no. It's not 8, it's 7. Because we went 1 through 6 and then 7 through 12. So it's episode 9, which is the musical, and then it's episode 7, because that's the fight scene that I finally got to do, and I could show everyone that I got the cannon and I'm a semi superhero. So yeah, those 2 episodes. I give you a 2-parter.
I mean, I talk about that feeling, because I think
fantastic.
One of the cool things, I bet, like, well, because one of the cool
Fantastic.
things about Doom Patrol to me is that I feel like a lot of people can see themselves in
Yes.
you all, right? Because you know, there's a whole conversation that we could have about trauma and and everything that the cast goes through over the 4 seasons and how they deal with that. But then there is this aspect of being a superhero, and like, you know, talk about that. And I mean, when you were coming into the role, what kind of preparation goes into that, to understanding that?
Well, the fun part was coming into the role, I had no idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, I did my audition. I did a self-tape. Next thing I know, I get some calls and asking about my COVID status. And I mean, if I'm vaccinated, the whole 9, what have you.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I'm getting a DM from Javan saying, "Hey, bravo, you know, welcome to the team." I'm like, wait,
Wow.
this is crazy. And then soon after, I'm in Atlanta, and then I'm just prepping, you know, seeing episode 3, which is just a pizza place. I'm not gonna lie, I was more just happy that I got to eat pizza and then play laser tag.
Totally.
Yeah, because originally, you know, we didn't get all the scripts at once. So I was under the impression of, oh, okay, this seems like a storyline of I'm gonna be his friend, he's gonna check in, we're gonna have normal human things while then he's gonna, you know, bounce between trying to still be a hero, maybe talking to me about, you know, being a hero, but then wanting to be human. And then somehow I tell him maybe like, hey, dude, go be Cyborg again. I had no idea that they would integrate me into literally being like Crazy Jane said, being the normie in the Doom, in like the most Doom Patrol type of scenario there's ever been. And I'm thinking, I've literally started thinking about it. I was like, has there ever been really a human person character with the Doom Patrol in like a very Doom Patrol-esque scenario, and I don't really remember.
Yeah.
Like if they were, it's probably someone that's captured. And again, please correct me if I'm wrong, and I apologize to speaking ill on somebody else. But yeah, but then the lead up was after we did the ending of 3, because it does seem, it ends on that kind of, is he going to come back? Is he not? It gave Mr. Invincible. And then I thought, okay, cool. Let's see what the other episodes are. Episode 5, I kind of like pop back up and he's like a baby or he's a kid. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. That's fun. But then right when I got to 6, I said, wait a minute, I'm in Doom Manor? Wait, I'm talking about a portal. I jump it. By the time I said I jump in a portal, I said, what are y'all doing? Like, this is crazy. I get to go into, and listen, I'm a nerd. I tell people that all
Right.
the time. Like, I just try to dress kind of cool. I mean, I don't know if people talking right now. I get it. I had to throw that in a shirt real quick, but I'd be like, hey, man, on the outside, I may, present very well, try my best. My mom and my dad be on me for that. But through and through, man, I'm a big comic book head, video games. I mean, I'm into sports the whole nine. So the inner nerd of me was just geeking out because I'm like, oh my God, man, I'm stuck. I'm in Doom World. And then when it did come to that part, there was a moment I was with Javan and we were walking, and I think he was doing something in regards to like costumes. And he's like, hey, you want to come? And I was like, oh, okay, cool, let's go. Mind you, I still don't know. So he's like, yeah, come on. And then he walked me in like the star he is and introduced me to everybody and just said, this is Elijah. He's playing Derek. This is my best friend. And they were like, oh, does he know? And he was like, nah, he doesn't know.
What?
He's like, you want to see? I was like, what am I seeing? And then next thing you know, they bring me over to some area and then I see it. And then they're like, here you go. And I was like, wait, whoa, what is this mean? It's like, oh, you didn't get the new pages. I said, what are the new pages? It's like, dude, you get to wear this. I said, what?
Oh my God.
I said,
Yes.
there's no way. There's no way you guys about to let me. And they did. And honestly, that day on set, I was a kid in the candy store, just walking around. Now, mind you, because any Doom Patrol people watch this, they will check me if I don't say this. At first, I was very like, yeah, this is great. It's got some weight to it. We have
Yeah.
there's some versions of the canon. Because again, one for they want to make sure like it's nice, and there's another one maybe like for stunts that's got like a little more padding to make sure
Yeah.
everything's good. But yeah, it was just funny that I had it. I was so excited. And then probably towards the end of that episode 7 and, shooting and fighting and everything, I was just kind of like, all right, cool. Who wants to hold it? Like,
My arm's tired.
yeah, it was like, yo, my forearm strength is dwindling. Like I'm holding, because I do hold on to it for, 2 episodes. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
which was at the same time how that felt. It still was amazing that I was just like, wow, I'm just walking around with a cannon on my arm. Like everywhere I went, just had a cannon on my arm. I'm just like, yo, this is amazing. Like I've
Yeah.
watched all the seasons. I fantasized about being a superhero in some way, shape, or form, and to legitimately have episode, episode and a half where that is the thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was. Yeah, it's one of the most cherishable moments I will forever have. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we do have to give credit to Duran and literally the entire cast. I mean,
Yes.
they worked so hard for what, 4 years or so, and they did an incredible job. I mean, I literally loved the first season, absolutely loved it, and I was so hooked up and ready to watch season 2. And then I was like, oh, this is getting really interesting. And then it literally just went into the third one, and now literally the finale, and it's gone so quickly, but what a journey it was. Like, I mean, everyone, obviously, for anyone who doesn't even know, I mean, but obviously Duran is, of course, British. And so for me to see my friend literally doing what he does, he did it for like an incredible job. And I'm literally so proud of him. And we actually, like me and you, we actually get to interview him hopefully soon. But
Yeah.
it's so like, I'm so happy the way that the show actually all became together. Like, I'm really, really happy.
Oh, that's beautiful. What'd you think about his singing and dancing?
I spoke to UB. I had to be honest with him. I was like, I've not had a chance to see it yet, but
He
I love it.
hasn't.
So I am really looking forward to seeing
Yeah.
it.
Oh, perfect. I'm gonna just leave it at that. If you
I know, right?
work,
It's so good.
yeah, if you enjoy his work, man, you're gonna have a good time, Kathleen. It's fun. I mean, yeah, he's a full class act. He's
Yeah.
top down. So many things. I've learned so many things from that man, and I say it till the end of my days. Like that is a brother. Some ways a mentor, but most definitely a brother in so many ways, all the ways. Yeah, it's great.
Did you, Elijah, did you get to meet Jeremy Carver?
No, sadly not. I was not able to, but his influence was everywhere. And
Yeah, I was going to say,
I got that.
because,
I got the essence.
yeah, well, and that's what it's sort of what I love about, because he was there from the beginning, right?
Mhm.
And he just managed to create like this family, this really
Mhm.
great familial situation that just was felt throughout, even when he wasn't there, to your point.
Right.
And like, how many times is that? How rare is that? Is it rare in the industry to have this kind of experience, would you say?
Well, I will say that Doom Patrol was, so for me, Doom Patrol was my really like first introduction to being on a show for that long.
Okay.
So in some ways, I will say I'm spoiled.
Yeah, sure.
Like 110%. I am so spoiled. Man. What I will say, again, just with the liberties that I have, just being for that show to have a top down, just all around sense of family, sense of unity, like
Hmm.
just across the board for people with all different forms of expression, walks of life. Like, I mean, it was just so cool. You might have like on the outside, right? You would have maybe like the toughest, roughest looking guy hanging out with like the most colorful costume girl that's got
Yeah.
all these like flowers and things in her hair, and things are happening, and they're just having like a real ass conversation. And in the outside world, we would not put those two together, but then because of
Yeah.
a show like this, everyone is watching and looking and participating and collectively engaging with each other in a way that's like, oh no, this is like my family. We're making sure the show is good. And even just to hear conversations sometimes, like people you wouldn't expect talking about, yeah, I just built the bone place, it's gonna be so cool. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh wait, whoa, these are like grown people, and not to say it in a way of like I think everyone should be able to talk about that in art. I think art is very
Yeah.
important. Like there should never be a age limit to talking about this stuff or being interested in
Hmm.
this stuff. So, but to really touch on your question, I from what I've heard to a degree, sometimes it is rare.
Yeah.
The feelings, the family, the everything in regards to Doom Patrol in many ways was like lightning in a bottle. It very
Yeah.
much was everyone coming to work, enjoying work, because at the same time, from what I was getting, is all these episodes are just so drastically different. There's just so many things happening. There's never
Mhm.
really a point where, it's okay, what are we doing? Oh, it's the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are shows that kind of have the same kind of rhythm, the same kind of beat. You're in the same kind of locations, and because that's what it's for. But
Mhm.
not every show is a Doom Patrol. Not every show is oh, we got to go to we got to go to hell to get our body, our souls back, and
Right.
we got this, and then oh, now we're in the white space, and then oh wait, now Mr. Nobody's done put us in a donkey, and now we're in some donkey world, and then we're in Orquith. So I mean, to have that too, it just always kind of keeps people on their toes, keeps people all always engaged, as much as possible. And yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, not saying he wasn't, like, when I was there, no, I did not meet Mr. Carver, but at the same time, like I said, the influence was there. I mean, I still, to this day, I remember, like, when I got there, I think Costume was like, "Welcome, you're Doomy." I was like, "Oh my God." So it was, like I said, it was just a lot to take in. And as I kept walking around, everyone's like, "Oh, yo, what's up? Hi. Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Oh, you're Derek. Oh, man, we really loved your tape. Oh, okay." And I mean, those things I feel like you do get, but
Yeah.
it was like that was the beginning. And then as it went, I mean, yeah, after a while, I'm going out with people. We're having a time and just getting to learn about people, because you spend so much time with everybody. You do really create a second family. And I mean, we did get to see each other not too long ago. And man, it was just like some folks, what's crazy is because we're all in different departments. So some people
Right.
saw the episodes and like they know me, but maybe I haven't met them yet. And the amount of love and unfiltered love, like it wasn't
Yeah.
oh right,
Oh,
he doesn't know me. It's just like, oh my God, Elijah, oh, he was Derek. You did great. And it's like, oh wow. It's like meeting family that you haven't met yet, but they've heard everything
Yeah.
about you. And then they're reflecting that on you. And it's just so easy to receive it. So yeah, I hope I gave some good nuggets.
Oh, that was great.
was there anything, because obviously now that the show has finished, but was
Mhm.
there anything from the set that you were able to like kind of keep to yourself? Like, that some actors,
Mhm.
if they do keep certain tiny little
Yeah.
props that they
Right.
now keep. Was there anything that you were able to, was there anything that you were able to have?
Yeah, I kept my Orc pen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I kept the
Nice.
let me see, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Cool.
think, yeah, I keep it on me all the time. I think it's, yep. Let me make sure my self view is on just so I can, yeah,
There
Oh,
it is.
yeah,
there it
I
is.
got had so much ink, but yeah, I kept the, because no one knows this, but man, this little thing, you want to talk about what was the hardest thing to do on set was not, and I got it right now, not getting ink.
All
Seriously,
over.
not getting ink on my hand and or fingers while doing the show. And
Oh,
honestly,
geez.
that made it that much more enjoyable. Because I was like, right, if I'm doing this, if I'm living this world, ideally, like, oh no, this is gonna happen. There's gonna be ink. There's gonna be, but there was at one point, it was just like ink, just ink, 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 ink.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
again, not nothing bad. But yeah, I kept my fork with pen.
It's got
Oh,
to feel
that's
magical. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so cool.
always just a reminder of just like, oh yeah, I was there. Just
That's
something real
awesome.
simple. I keep it on me all the time.
I mean, did they give you any like t-shirts or hoodies that got like
Mhm.
of company name and
Oh yeah. Oh come. Oh yeah,
like
Kathleen.
as well?
I had to listen, Kathleen. I had to make sure. I don't know if y'all have seen this. There's an interview out there. I want you to look it up. It's Jamie Foxx and Denzel Washington. They have a nice little conversation. But Denzel, you'll get it when I say it when you watch the interview. But Denzel is very funny because he gave me this line saying, "I'm leaving with something. Like I worked this hard.
Yeah.
I'm leaving with something. And I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want this to be used to incriminate me for other sets. I'm not gonna be going around stealing. But in some way, shape, or form, I'm getting me a t-shirt, something. But no, I got about 2 t-shirts. I got a hat. We got a nice little wrap gift backpack, Doom Patrol season 4, which is dope.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, like I said, they treated me well. I had such a
Yeah,
fantastic time. Again, like family, legitimately like family. But
yeah.
yeah, to quote the great Denzel Washington, I'm leaving with something.
I love it.
I I
Well,
am.
I feel like we all left with something just with the show, Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
oh
again,
man.
like the finale.
Hmm.
I gotta say that what the robotics class, like how much
Right,
of you is coming through? Like, do you see yourself doing not necessarily robotics, maybe,
right,
but
right.
like from an acting perspective, like teaching kids? And I mean,
Hmm.
how important is that to you just in real life?
I feel like it's imperative, man. I feel like
Yeah.
that acting for me, I'm also Here in Los Angeles, there's a show I'm a part of. It's called True, and it's this cinematic immersive experience. Long story short, there's a friend of mine who made 5 episodes of a web series that documents the journey of a therapist, a Black therapist that learns through each session of his clients and whatnot that he needs therapy. And I also get to be so I get to have the opportunity to be one of the live performances. And it's kind of like if the 5 episodes are tracks of an album, the live performances are interludes. So we've been able to have sold out shows and whatnot, like all the bells and whistles for that. And not to like just throw that away. That's actually very, very important, because that is showing that people want art. They want real art. And I say all that to say is as we're doing this show, it's taken a life of its own. It's just like Doom Patrol. It's taken a life of its own because the audience lets us know what they want to see. They let us know what's of value. And those things are things that, I realize, acting for me is of service, to be able to tell these stories, to be able to reflect the human condition, to reflect certain things that somebody else out there, in across the world, is someone's going through it. And actually, to quote Denzel again, the universal stems from the specific. And that just means how specific your story, like Doom Patrol, it's got all this craziness, right? We go everywhere. But at the same time, it's very, very specific, and it's very focused on real human stories, even with these, Robot Man, Larry, Dorothy, like the representatives you would imagine you can't connect with, but so quickly you realize, oh, right, it doesn't matter what's even the representative for what they're talking about. It's like, oh no, I know what that is. You don't always need to, in many ways, kind of be a person. We caring about Robot Man, like you're caring about Larry, just bandages. And and Dorothy, like some people may think like, oh man, these characters, this is too much, comic booky. This is, I don't know. Or, it's just so interesting. I mean, like thinking about all of that journey in regards to, just that kind of responsibility of telling the stories and being able to more or less find something to allow people to connect and to find like fellow community and just to be seen. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I would love to kind of teach, I teach them in my own ways. I go and be in classes and give notes or what have you, but really to have a class, I think would be dope. I think that would be fun in some way, shape, or form, because after a while, it's not really what you can do for yourself. It's what you can do with all that you gain for other people, and how can you make them better.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
I mean, that kind of nicely brings into another question, and that is, if there could ever be another season, where would you take your character? Like, where would you like your character to?
That's a good one.
Would you like to go, like, travel in space? Would you like to go to a different time zone? Where would you like to take your character? Like, if you could pick one.
Ah, man. Man, crossover to Titans.
Right?
That would be
cool.
Like, I think that would be really, really dope to cross over to Titans. Like Cyborg, because I don't know I think people caught it, but I feel like in its own way, these 4 seasons were the prequel to Cyborg. This is his origin story.
Totally. Yeah.
Like this is in many ways Cyborg's origin story, and then him crossing over to the Titans, being a Titan. I would love to be in that world. I'd love to be the friend. I'd love to maybe be the guy in the chair, work with Grid. Granted, I have a family, I have a robotics team. A robotics class, but just somehow, some way, or I don't know, someone tries to nab me or something, or we got to bring back Derek in a suit. Give me another cannon, or give me something, or kind of make me like a pseudo Iron Man, but not really Iron Man, because we don't do all that crossing over stuff like that. But Yeah, that would be fantastic. And if I could do a second one, somehow going to Danny Street.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
right?
Yeah, that's the one thing
Yes.
I wish I got to do was to go to Danny, because
Yeah.
just to be in that, just like wow, just to like from an actor standpoint and just a true fan of the show, to walk around and then just kind of seeing, because they also do a lot of practical effects. So a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff,
Yeah.
I would, you get to walk and see the street or see the van and see the different interactions and look over to the left and then it says, "Hi, Derek." And I'd be like, "Oh, wow." Like I wouldn't have to act that. I don't
Yeah.
have to act that. I just see it as like action. Da, 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 da. Oh, what, oh, Vic, what is this? I'm Danny. Whoa, why is the street? Why is the street talking? Or why is that van talking? It's like, oh, it's just Danny. Wait, that doesn't. Yeah, I think that would be actually fun, because I know the dialogue would be really fun to go through, because that's
Yeah.
not something normal for Derek to see. And I think that's not normal for Elijah to see. So those would be one and the same, and it would just be a fun journey.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I mean, which actors or actresses kind of inspired you to start acting?
Whew,
If you
man.
had to tell a few.
Oh man, inspired. So, I mean, like people say, I don't say in a cliche way. I mean, so many, but I mean, man, some that pop up. I mean, there's Denzel, there's Viola Davis, there's Philip Seymour Hoffman, there's Meryl Streep. Some of the contemporaries. I mean, I love Creed, so there's Michael B. Jordan, the late great Chadwick Boseman. Um,
Hmm.
man, no, no, no. Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
just watching the Dark Knight. I mean, I still play it from time to time. It just, I don't know. It's just forever stuck with me. There's those movies. I mean, there's Harrison Ford, 'cause I love Indiana Jones. There's um man, it's just crazy. I'm just like, I just think about, if I think about the movies, then you think about the actors. I mean, there's,
Yeah.
who else? There's someone else I know. I mean, I love Courtney B. Vance, Angela Bassett. I'm trying to think of Tom Hanks. I
Hmm.
love, man,
Oh,
just a fun journey. Um, but I will say that I forget their names, and I apologize. I hopefully, maybe Kathleen, you may know, but there's this movie called The Untouchables that I love. It's I think
yeah.
With
yeah.
Kevin Costner, like that.
No, no,
Like
no. It's
no,
this
no.
movie. No, no, no. Is it? No, no, no. My bad. Not The Untouched. No, freak. Um. Dang it. You know what? It's okay. It's this movie with, I think it's a French film, but it's these two
Okay.
gentlemen. One is in a wheelchair. Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston redid it, but I think it's either not The Untouchables or maybe it's
Oh,
Um,
I do know what you're
Unbreakable.
talking about. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
It's
I'm so sorry to miss name it, but it's this movie that I think about periodically. It's and that's the thing. Sometimes it is those actors that I did name, but I also think about what really did get me into acting. Yes, these actors that inspired me, but I won't lie, the movies got me into it, the
hmm.
stories, and I think realistically, the blooper reel, because I'm actually thinking about Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, right.
Blooper reels for me were a big thing, and especially in Rush Hour, because they just had so many outtakes, and to me, and I'll leave it here. To me, it just seems so fun. I would
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would kind of be a little too focused on getting things right, but then to see bloopers and to see these professionals walk around and then say like, "Here, give me, I'm at LAPD," and then your badge falls out. Cut. Oh, my bad, guys. Just to see that you could
Yeah.
kind of, you could try your best, and even when you mess up, everyone's laughing, everyone's having fun. It's not as stressful. Now granted, this is, you want to make sure you do what you do and handle your business, but yeah, I would say movies in general, on top of the actors that I named and many more, and then blooper reels.
That's funny. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good point. It's the pressure can be relieved. And that's almost sometimes the best part, of watching a series. Like I would love to see Doom Patrol outtakes and bloopers.
Oh
Like,
man.
I can't even imagine. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine.
Yeah.
Like that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's man, it's even more of a comedy. I'll just tell you
Yeah,
that.
yeah, right. Exactly. Oh man. Well,
That's
I gotta say, oh, go ahead, Kathleen.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say that's why I love getting any DVDs that's got like the 2 discs version.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got the episodes, and then you've got all the funny ones of the deleted scenes, the
Yeah.
bloopers, the behind the scenes,
All
all
of
the
it.
things that we don't actually get to see, but the most funniest bits as well. And I'm so excited because once obviously once season 4 comes out on DVD, I can go, right, I've got the whole entire collection now. I can
Oh
just
yeah.
all the way through again. And I mean, one of the questions from the community actually did say, if you had the choice to play any comic book character, who would it be and why?
A lot of folks I think say this, but no, there's two. One, because I'd love to see myself swinging Miles Morales.
Oh yeah.
I love Spider-Man. I'm actually playing Spider-Man 2 as we speak. Well, not right now, but I love it. I love it. I love the game so much. I've always loved Spider-Man. That was my introduction to comic books and this whole
Yeah.
world. And my second one would be the Silver Surfer.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
He's
Cool.
yeah, Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
Galactus, the whole nine. I love the journey of him because it is this kind of hero's journey, pilgrimage, and this duality of morality, trying to save his world by finding other worlds for this world eater to eat. And then what does that do to a person?
Yeah.
And as cold as he gets, it's not, it's until something does finally push him to the last bit, and he's just like, okay, I have to go against this person. And there's this new comic I've read, Silver Surfer Black. It's a new thing, but man, is it so beautiful. So yeah, those two would be like cool. And then I don't know, maybe a character that can beat people up, like fight and just doing stuff like that. That would all anything that I could fight would be amazing.
You're right.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
think for
awesome.
me, it probably would be Spider-Man. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
was it Gwen? Yeah, Gwen. And
Oh
she
yeah.
was
Ooh, nice.
I definitely like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got such a nice, she's got a different style, super graceful,
Yeah.
but can still pack a mean punch. So I
Mm.
love it.
Man, who
You,
would
what
I
about
be?
you?
I know, man, that's such a hard question.
Yeah.
I mean, my two favorites are Superman and Batman. Just
Oh,
they're
fantastic.
so different.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I could both of those, just there's, to your point, there's such a difference in morality there, but not really. Like it's such an interesting contrast between the two. And I'm trying to remember like my first introduction into all this, because I remember the Spider-Man TV show way back when, right? That was on TV. Like I just used to gobble that stuff up. And then obviously the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeve. Yeah, so many. I know.
Wonderful.
I know. Amazing. Well, Elijah, it's so good to see you. Thank you for this conversation. I think Kathleen and I are just so excited, like to be back, and to be able to revisit.
I mean, okay, just before we kind of end this incredible interview, I think we all need to summarize what Doom Patrol and what Doom Group kind of mean to us. I mean, of course, we're going to ask all the other actors as well who we're going to interview, but it'll just be amazing to hear what all three of us kind of have to say about it, because it does mean the world to me. So, and it means the world to everyone. So I just want like everyone's opinion about it.
Ooh, that's a deep one.
I'd say I'll start with the first one that means the most. We'll go with the Doom Group. I say what the Doom Group means for me trying to actually get the words right, but it's like it's almost, I want to say like the words of like resiliency of, because it also just the fact of like to weather the storm for so long, you know, from different seasons and when things are kind of going up and down, and to continue to, it's like the resiliency of like love. I
Yeah.
think the resiliency of like, yeah, just community and things of that nature. I apologize, I don't have the exact proper, you know, words, but that's what I, you know, I hope you can really sense what I mean. But it
Absolutely.
is that. It's the fact that it's a group of people, a family, a community, you know, that, I mean, it's exactly what the Doom Patrol is. It's a collective hodgepodge of so many people, just like the Doom Group, that is weathering the storm and going on that ride that is life itself. And they fall back into each other, and they're able to just keep persevering, keep handling business, doing what they do. Y'all two doing these interviews and giving more stuff to everybody. So I just, all of that in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And then what Doom Patrol means to me, um, first things that pop in my mind are like the beginning, first steps, um,
Hmm.
a wonderful opportunity, family. Because honestly, there's just, I think it's I guess you just say it's just everything. To be honest, not trying to find some concise way to articulate my thoughts. I really think it is that, you know, Doom Patrol for me was everything, because it did give me so much. It did change a lot of my life. It changed my own perception of myself as an artist. It changed, you know, how my family saw me, and not like they saw me badly, but to just have the opportunity to see me in a different light, you know, episode after episode after episode, and doing more things and saying, wow, you did that, you did that, you did that. And even me to say, dang, I did that. And now, you know, my standard of excellence is raised. So yeah, Doom Patrol to me, in a small amount of words, is everything. Everything, everything, everything. What
When
about
you
you? Yes?
are like, you B can go. You can go.
I
Wow.
almost got you. I was gonna say Kathleen.
Woo! Yeah,
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of what you've said. It's the community piece. It's the fact that something like this, both the Doom Group and Doom Patrol, could, you know, transcend what they are on the surface, right? Is like a TV show
Mhm.
or just a group. I mean, they've there's so much more than that, and
Mhm.
they've both managed to touch so many people's hearts, and and my hope is that they continue on even after the ending, right? Like that there's that people continue to come together and talk about this, and talk about the impact that it's had, and to be able to go back to specific scenes and episodes and tie that to something going on in their lives, and how they've been able to use that, or be able to go to somebody in Doom Group, and be able to have a conversation
Mhm.
that they couldn't have with anybody else. You know, it's like that it's like it's that kind of connection that, I mean, is really truly rare, and you just don't find that very often. And I think that's what it is to me, is it's the that rare unifying spark that only comes around every once in a while, and
Yep.
if you're lucky, you get to be a part of it.
Yeah.
and
All
of
right,
course,
Kathleen, close us out.
Yeah.
oh,
So,
I am just completely grateful. I mean, so like obviously 2 years ago, I was in a bit of a bad place, and I was like, I just really want to do something good. And when I came up with this idea of doing Doom Group, and I was still part with Duran, I was still part of his community group for Waves World, and I was like, I really want to do something for Doom Patrol.
mhm.
And then when I first started posting about it, and people were getting involved, and everyone wanted to like be a part of it, it grew. And it's amazing because every messages I receive, it's from people from all around the world. You go to Brazil, America, UK. It is just crazy. But the beautiful thing is that we get so many messages of like, we get drawings, we get so much artwork, and we get people saying, oh, I love this episode, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, but everything else was amazing. And it just brings my face, and that's what the main thing is to make other people feel happy.
Yeah.
And I am just grateful for the opportunities and just being able to, you know, just to like, now that Doom Patrol has finished, Doom Group is now continuing, which is just an incredible feeling. And Doom Patrol, there's so many words to explain about it, but it is literally my heart, and I absolutely love it so much. I mean, from the very first episode and to now where it is right at the end, it's just seen everything for, like Danny Street, you've got so many different new characters coming in every single episode, and it's just, what everyone has done to it is amazing. And I think from years and years to come, it's still always going to be in my heart, so I am absolutely grateful for it.
That's a great
perfect way to end it. Thank you, Elijah. Good to see you, man.
Thank y'all. Now, like I said, just a wonderful time. Y'all have created a wonderful thing, and it is a true honor to be back. Thank you, Doom Group. Thank you, Yubi. Thank you, Kathleen. And in the great words of Denzel, I most definitely just left with something. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I mean, it's been an incredible interview again, and I'm absolutely grateful to just have this wonderful community group and just be able to do things that I absolutely love. So
yeah.
So thank you so much to everyone who has watched this episode and tuning in, and we are so excited. We've got a few more episodes coming up as well. We've even got a Doom Group very special episode with hopefully a few of our people joining in, which I'm excited about.
Very excited. So stay tuned. We'll be back.
Oh yeah.
All right, everybody. Take care.